Welcome back to Straight Talk. When we went to break, of course, we're talking about the Cattery thing. I mean, so things have been happening, regardless of our discussion of irony.
Our diatribe.
But it's still the same. It's like, I agree that the Turtle Island Theatre Company needs donations, but to fix the building, you know what I mean? Whose building is it? And that's that's an issue that has to be clarified, I think, before somebody's going to donate to it.
Yeah,
to the theater is one thing, but to fix the building, unless somebody can, because it's serious.
You know what? I
But in the
don't
meantime,
buy
it's
that.
like-
You know what? Is that, say, for the Mohawk Council? I think historically they could have done a lot more than they have to fund it. You have Brighter Futures funds, part of the production, the whole process that involved in producing and paying the rent for the building, whatever the case may be. You know, the money could have been forthcoming from the community, from wherever, and say, you know, who the hell cares about who owns? We'll figure that out later. You know what? Let's throw our backs into it and get some fire. You know,
But it's still only one out of a community of many. You know what I mean? So you can't fund everybody. There's enough funds to go around, you can't throw it all at one place. So there's others that are asking for the same money for different things too, and so how do you balance that
I'm
out?
not simply saying the Mohawk Council, it was the community as well. You know, the community as well, and not hot potato it.
Well, I don't know. All I know is
They
that
can't.
there's
Hold off.
programming that's available that, you know, like we've and as Ganawagi, we've become accustomed to a certain level of professionalism in terms of the Turtle Island Theatre, and I'm sure they are too. They like to hold themselves to a certain level as well, and to be able to do that, they need their own location. You know, we've heard a lot of people say, "Well, why don't they just do it out of here? Do it out of..." No, you want to have, you know, and the group itself.
You don't want to be moving all the time.
Exactly.
It's a lot of stuff to move.
I
You know,
remember
and this is part of our community. Yeah.
Covering the story when I worked for the Eastern Door, and you know, one of the problems that the Turtle Island Theatre Company had, I was talking with Kevin John back then, is that the whole issue about whether a theater group or a group in Ganawagi could own a property suddenly became an issue. You know, I mean, things like that. I mean,
Well, it depends too where the funding is coming from.
It'll have to be
too.
like everything else, private land donated for specific purposes. But when they do open, and if you're living in an area out of the community and you can't get there, there's going to be a shuttle bus.
What?
According to this, there's
Okay.
supposed to be a shuttle bus that's going to be starting soon. Mohawk Council is.
Oh
is
yeah,
getting
that's
a
right.
shuttle
There
bus
was
that's-
this is the one I think was, I don't know which one. I think it was Martin LeBorn, and it had a poll done about a need for shuttle bus. I think it's a good idea.
Oh, like from one end of Ganawagi
Yeah,
to another.
Clay,
maybe
so
like
the Clay or
Mountains,
whatever,
up to
yeah,
So you
OCR.
want to go to the
yeah.
bank, you want to go to the arena, you want to go to different, you know, you're living at the new side of the community now where the Texas Ranch
Oh, yeah,
side
yeah,
and
yeah,
Mohawk,
okay.
Mohawk Trail area.
Yeah.
There's going to be a shuttle bus that's going there. So, you know, that's a positive. I mean, it's I guess it's needed. There's a lot of people that don't have vehicles.
Well, more and more the community is spread out. You know, I mean, for kids,
And it's
teenagers taking it, not walking on a highway,
not having to cross over the highway. That's
yeah,
you
I mean,
know.
it's an excellent idea,
Right.
and kudos to the work that's gone into
Yeah.
it.
Well, there's another issue in regards to Rainbow Tobacco. I guess there was a raid in Alberta. Robbie Dixon,
Yeah,
he made the paper, and there's been there was a raid. And
millions and a multi-million-dollar raid out there. Montana First Nation, which is part of the Hobima.
Which is
Nation.
located in Calgary?
Alberta.
Or Alberta somewhere?
Yeah, I think it's outside of Edmonton, actually.
Okay.
And this is a major deal that had been
Worked out.
shaped over the past number of months, which a number of the people on their council out there approved of
Right.
as an economic development thing. Now, the thing with this particular case with Robbie's Rainbow Tobacco is that he has a permit through Canada, so and pays the excise and so on.
Judy, yeah, the whole.
So now there was what happened was a whole shipment of tobacco products was sent out there. The building that it was stored in was broken into. A number, I don't know, 20 cases of cigarettes
Were
or tobacco
stolen.
were stolen, And then, so the people there called the authorities.
To
who
make the
said,
report.
this is very interesting, and so on and so forth. And they're saying there's no Alberta stamps on it.
So see, he put it in the court, and now they're going to fight as whether it's a jurisdictional issue. Mohawk Council send them, I guess
I guess it's got to do again with the province.
a support
and,
letter.
this-
And,
Well, nobody also
federal, provincial, and also the jurisdictional
Well, it
treaty
has to
authority
do,
of,
yeah.
of First Nations.
Yeah, it has to do with, do we or do we not have a right to autonomy as First Nations people?
Well, especially between First Nations and First Nations.
Yeah, in this particular case, what you have is, it was, I think her name is Marilyn Buffalo, the Grand Chief there. She's been suspended as a result of this, and another counselor. So, I mean, just internally, I mean, the questions, I mean, that, you know, from Mohawk perspective, they're being asked is, are you guys not going to fight for this here? They apparently, they've talked to AFN, because there's that whole larger thing, is that this is between First Nation to First Nation along old established trade routes, blah, blah.
but
And
you know
then
what?
even-
It's the same thing is happening here, you know, because a lot of the manufacturers had federal permits, and you know, is there support from the Mohawk Council for them, and is, you know, is there
Yeah.
are they going to fight here for it, or is it going to be one individual fighting in Alberta for it, and because it's going to have a blanket effect across Canada if there's ever a decision somewhere in the future. So it's something that that we're going to be looking at, and I guess once we find out how it goes with, you know, with Robbie, we'll get more information.
But one of the interesting points that Robbie made was that, look, if they're going to be charged, if Rainbow Tobacco is going to be charged in Alberta, then maybe perhaps the federal government of Canada needs to be charged as well, since they're the ones.
They allowed. Yeah.
They have an agreement, you know, an excise
You
agreement.
know what, but
you know.
like I said, you know, hopefully the things will work out, and it's going to be a long fight. But you know, we there's still a big fight here at home. Look at what Jamie Ranch and his workers, you know, a few years ago. It's still an issue, and it's still a federal issue, and it's still, you know, a trade issue, and it still has a lot of things to do. So
And
I think that we need
Yeah.
something has to happen globally, and not just.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that, okay, that also the way we are here, we're a little bit more vocal, and we have a little bit more, we're more likely to say something or to fight for it.
Well-
That was one of the things that was brought up. I noticed in the in the article in the Eastern Door that you
Yeah,
know, they were
but-
saying that like out west they're more likely to not have the
Be
same.
passive about it. to
Be,
be
yeah, more.
passive
That's
about
part
it.
of their more part of their culture than it is here.
Well, I don't know
for
if it's a
sure.
culture. Yeah, whatever the reason is, whether it's a culture or whether it's a historical legacy,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of that.
Okay.
Now, I guess we'll take a break right now. But when we come back, we can talk about the fact is what is the Mohawk Council doing in response to that? Because there's a discussion about a.
But I think that you know, it's something that you know, it's a wait and see. I think we need to wait and see what's going to happen in the weeks to come in order to I guess cover more of it. But
You're listening to Straight Talk. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away.